So 10 things I've learned, am learning. I picked the two most like done baby pics of me for this. But number one, trust takes time and rebuilding it is hard. I used to lie to my parents a lot when I thought that they wouldn't like what I had to tell them. And I discovered the hard way that the more their trust was broken, the worse the consequences were. And I think I learned the hard way too that my parents wanted what's best for me. It's really weird to say, but I think as a teenager, I felt that they were always against me and what I wanted to do. But at the end of the day, they had the best interests for me in mind. It's just that when I didn't tell them things, it made it very hard for them to know what was happening. So for me, trust takes time and rebuilding it is hard because later on in life, when I tried to rebuild it, it also took a lot of work. I had a curfew until I was maybe 21, 22. It took a long time for my parents to trust me and know where I had used to have to report where I was going and every little nitty gritty thing. But now it's a lot easier that, I've grown up more and it's easier for my brothers as well. So I would say that the times that I never regretted being truthful to my parents after that. So I think it's good to let them know what's going on. If your parents want what's best for you, they may get angry in the moment, but at the end of the day, they will want to work it out with you. Yeah, that's what I'm learning, or what I learned. Let me just move the. Let me just move this up like a little bit, bothering me. Go. Okay. Number two, happiness is a journey, not a destination. I think a lot of the time we will have the impression that, hey, I will only be happy if I hit a certain amount of my savings, or if I get married, or if I find a partner, or if I do this, or if I do that. There's always going to be a goalpost, and that goalpost is always going to move. So I am learning to enjoy the journey as well, to really take time out of my day to be grateful for the things that I have. And even if the day is bad, to reflect on how there were some good that happened also. So yeah, I think that if you set a goal and you reach it, like even if I became the most famous VTuber in the world, even if I had a lot of money, there's always going to be something more that you will want, that you will set as your next goal. So enjoy the journey. Don't end up in a place where you've been unhappy for most of your life and only discover that you could have been happy all this while before you even reach your goals. That's not to say don't work on your goals, work towards it, but also enjoy the journey towards that. Yeah. Okay, 3. Relationships can be difficult and it takes investment. Compatibility is no guarantee, change is inevitable. To be loved is sometimes to be changed. Now, I know this is a long point, but I think it all comes together under the first statement where relationships can be difficult and it takes investment, right? If you want to know more about relationships, we did have a dating advice stream a while back. That was really fun as well. We talked a lot more about relationships then. So if you want to check out more on this point and have a little extension on it, you can check out that video. Yeah. Number 4, the only person you should actively compare yourself with is the you of yesterday, because there's always going to be someone who's better at what you're doing. There's always going to be someone who's more attractive, more talented, more everything, has more money, has this, has that. So at the end of the day, you should be working towards being a better person for yourself. And it's normal and natural to compare ourselves with others, but don't make it an obsession. Be more focused on you. Yeah? Number 5, living with no regrets. Now, I posted this on my Twitter a while back where I basically said, I'm going to live with regrets. I'm going to try not to live with any regret, because at the same time, whatever you regret doing cannot be changed. You cannot change the past. You can only move forward making a better future. That doesn't mean you don't make amends or do any of that. That just means you have to come to closure with anything that you have regretted doing before or towards the people you wronged. And even if you do try to make amendments and they don't reciprocate, that's okay as well, because at the end of the day, no one owes you forgiveness. That is something that you can only give yourself if you do something wrong. So live with no regrets, forgive yourself, be kinder to yourself. And that's not to say that there are certain things that cannot that have to get a pass. There are certain unforgivables in my eyes, but if you're not doing anything heinous, then live with no regrets. Number 6, 有话就说，有屁就放. And this pointer kind of came up during Celeste. A couple of days ago, we were playing Celeste, and this Mandarin phrase came up. This Chinese saying that if you have something to say, say it. If you have a fart, don't hold it in. And I think there's some wisdom to this, even though it sounds silly and it's something that me and my friends used to say to each other to kind of mock one another. But there's wisdom to it. I think you can't sit around expecting people to know what's on your mind, especially in relationships, in business, in whatever it is. Don't sit around not saying what you need to say. And farts and coughs and sneezes are not good held in either, so you shouldn't hold stuff in. That's not to say you're not tactful with the way it comes out. Find the right place, find the right situation, and find the right words to bring your points across. But if you have something to say, say it, because no one's going to be out here actively trying to read your mind. This is why. Point 7, nobody cares. Now, I know it's terrible to say this, okay? It's a little bit even, cynical to say that nobody cares. But just think about it. As you go about your day to day, there are so many people you pass by who have intricate lives on their own. They have complex situations they are in. They may even be embarrassing. They may even, be annoying in public. But at the end of the day, most people don't care. They don't care what you look like. They don't care what you did. Or they don't care if you fell down the staircase or anything like that. Like, they'll care in the moment, like, are you okay? Are you okay? But at the end of the day, they're not going to follow up with it, right? So it's both a comforting and depressing thought to say nobody cares, but I'm taking it more in the comforting stance of nobody cares, therefore do what you want as long as you're not hurting anybody. Okay? Yeah, that's my version of nobody cares. Not nobody cares, so go and, yourself. No. Number 8, invest early or right now, damn it. So this is something I've only learned maybe over the past 2 years, where your money can work for you. It's important to start, no matter how small it is. Plan early for your retirement, plan early for your future, and start investing early because your runway is longer. I can't say that my investments have come to fruition and that I'm ready to retire or anything like that, but I can say I'm doing my best to try and start. And I do see that my money is growing more than it ever would have if it just sat in the bank. So go look up what are some wise ways you can invest. There are even offhand ways that you can invest. And I think it's good to do a little research and start investing early. Number 9, and this was kind of learned from my parents. They learned it the hard way. I learned it because they keep telling me. Number 9, pay off credit cards debt on time always. And if you can't handle a credit card, then the cashback is not worth it either. Don't get one. Because especially in today, I think millennials and Gen Zers in the future who turn 16 and they can have cards, they're going to be the most susceptible to the buy now, pay later mentality and rack up and accumulate a lot of unnecessary debt that's going to follow you for a long time. There are going to be certain things that you have to pay off through time, like a house or a car, big ticket items that you can't pay off immediately unless you're super rich. But where you can, it's always better to pay off anything that you have to buy right now so that whatever you have in your bank or whatever you have in your investments will not be touched. Because if you wait until your credit card bill comes in and then you realize you don't have enough, it's going to be a long journey to pay it off. Even if it's a little bit, it compounds so quickly. Just pay it right off because credit cards should be working to your advantage. You shouldn't be out here giving the banks free money by accumulating interest on your credit cards. Credit cards should be working for you, not you working for them. Yeah? Okay, next and lastly, therapy works, and this is just a disclaimer, if you keep an open mind. No therapist is going to be perfect either. Same with our parents. You can't expect your therapist to know exactly what works for you. You can trust them to try and walk you through your own thoughts. Um, I have gone through therapy sessions twice now, and I'm about to arrange for my next one because it's been a rough week. I haven't been able to deal mentally, personally, but each time I knew that something has been weighing on my mind for more than a week, more than a couple days, and it's affecting my daily, my daily routines, and it's affecting me mentally every day, then I know it's time to go to therapy. My default setting, I feel like I usually deal with life quite alright. But when things happen and get complex, and we're kind of in the middle of it, I wish I knew about therapy early on when I was in my teens, so that when I was going through my first breakup, when I was considering getting into a rebound relationship, when I was about to do all these things that I eventually am not proud of, uh, I wish that I had therapy to go to, or I wish I considered counseling at least to go to. It's kind of like going to a doctor just for your mind. So if you feel like something isn't right in your mind right now, then go for it. But also, you can also go frequently if there's access and all that, and you're able to. You can also go more frequently as like a checkup. Because we go to doctors for yearly checkups and stuff. I hope you do, guys. Go for your yearly checkups or your half yearly dental cleanings. It's kind of just to make sure things are okay with you. I realize sometimes that I don't notice how off I feel until I'm in the office. You know what I mean? It's like a lot of the days, at least for me as someone in fast-paced Singapore, I feel like sometimes I take every day on autopilot. Even when I'm upset, even if I have something really heavy on my mind, I can still pull myself up, put on my boots, go to work, even if I'm not okay. And I can pretend I'm okay for most of my life. But it's a lot better to go through life cognizant that you're happy or cognizant that you're all right and that there isn't anything weighing on your mind. It's such a weight lifted off your shoulders once you sort out the entanglements that go on in your head. So consider therapy. If you've never gone before, it's good to just go. It can be something as small as a friendship problem. The last time I went, it was because I kept thinking of certain friendship problems that I was having. And I decided, all right, I'm just going to try going for therapy for it. It just took one session for me to immediately feel better and know where I thought and stood about this whole friendship issue. Because it's a lot easier. It's like when you go to the gym and you've never really gone to the gym before. I think most of us go through life without someone to be our mental guide, right? Gym and all that, you can kind of easily find tutorials online how to do kettlebell swings, how to do jumping jacks, whatever. You can find guidance for physical exercise online easily. You can even form your own routines at home. But when it comes to navigating the complexities of the human mind, I haven't really found online resources that were that good at guiding me through it as well as a therapist would. A therapist who's able to respond to you in real time, who is a real person with real life experiences, preferably someone older who has maybe gone through similar things as you, is gonna help a lot more than trying to find a YouTube video for your specific situation. So try therapy. It's good. I'm glad that the stigma that surrounds it is kind of lifting as well. And I hope you guys have a good one. That's all my 10 heart to heart things that I've learned and am learning. There's still a lot more things that I would like to share, but I am not in the right mind now to like talk about a lot of stuff. So I'll just leave it here for today. Thank you so much for joining me for this segment. Yeah, and oh, thank you for the people on YouTube who watched through this whole raw recorded part as well. Can we say thank you, YouTube, in the chat, please? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yay! I think my Animal Crossing music stopped. Wait, it stopped like a while ago. Oops. Thank you, YouTube. Yeah, thank you, Yvonne. Thank you, YouTube.